Most people think investing in the stock market is about picking the next Tesla, Apple, or the hottest stock in town. That is a lie that keeps you broke while the Wall Streets are getting rich. I spent a number of hours untangling the truth, and this is what I found. So today I'm gonna show you how you can invest in the entire US market, mutual funds, index funds, and ETFs. So we're gonna learn what they are and how they work and why one of it is better than the rest of them. And by the end of this video, you will know exactly where to put your money such that you can build generational wealth or create a passive income. So why invest at all? The reason as to why we invest is because your money or my money is under attack by inflation. When you look at the prices of egg, gas, or even rent, everything is skyrocketing. Prices are going up each and every year. If your money doesn't grow, you're just getting poor each and every day. So if your money is just sitting in a regular bank account, you're probably losing your buying power every single day. We invest because we want our money to grow faster than the cost of living. Also, we invest because we want to buy back our freedom and buying back our time. Every dollar you invest right now or today is an hour that you won't work in the future or when you're older. We don't want to be pushing those cards when we are old, you know. Another reason we have to invest is we have to own something. Don't just work. Investing turns you from being a worker to just being an owner of maybe 500 companies in the United States or in the world. Before you invest your money or hit that buy button, there are 6 checkpoints that you have to observe because you don't want to invest and then start removing your money. So checkpoint number 1, kill that high interest debt. If you have credit card debt, sometimes they charge you 20 to 30 interest rate, and there is no investment that beats that. So pay them first just before you think about investment. Checkpoint number 2, build a caution. Even if it's 500 to just begin with, life really happens to just everybody. You can lose a job, you have maybe a roof to repair and maybe it's leaking, maybe you can have a car that got an accident and you just need to repair your car. So that one bad month shouldn't destroy your progress in investment. Use a high yield saving account. Have a safety net. Most of these accounts pay you 4 to 5% to just have your money in there, so you make money when you're sleeping. Checkpoint number 3, have a good health or medical insurance such that it doesn't wipe all your investment. Checkpoint number 4, grab your 401k match. If your job matches this, just take it. This is always 100% return and it's free money. Don't leave that money on the table. Checkpoint number 5, know why you are investing your money. Is it a house that you want to buy in retirement? Are you putting it for your kids? Do you want to travel? Maybe in 20 years time you want to maybe do all this travel. Just know your why. If you don't have a goal, you'll quit and you'll feel scared just before you hit your goal. Checkpoint number 6, control your emotion. If you're about to start investing, you have to control your emotion. The market goes up and down, and if you panic and sell anytime, you lose, because you can't invest like 10 years, you panic after the 10th year and then you lose your money. So you have to stay in the course. For better understanding, I want us to begin by understanding what is an individual stock. An individual stock is one single asset or one single share. Think of it like this: if that one single company is doing well, your investments are gonna go high. If it's doing bad, your investments are gonna dip. So it's just safe for you not to buy one single company. I don't think you should trust one single company, because there are some companies which were there and they were giant companies. They were doing good but they became bankrupt. Let's have an example of that, like a Blockbuster. They were the king of movies, but Netflix came and happened. Kodak was one big company that was the king of photography, but then smartphone happened. That's the same way. You should not depend on one company, clean on it, and think that it will do better in the next 10 or 20 years. There's a company called Nokia. Everyone knows it. It was the king of cell phone. Everyone thought it would do well even in 10, 20 years, but iPhone came and killed it. They were very big, but they vanished just like that. That's why don't guess on one company, just buy the whole market or the whole stock. What is a mutual fund? This is a traditional way of doing things. A mutual fund is a company that pulls money from many investors, be it person A, B, C, D, up to whatever the number. It pulls all that money and invests in diversified portfolios, be it stocks or bonds. bonds. So this is what happens. This is always a human like running all this. They are active managers or just professionals. They're just making all these calls. They're just investing for you, and they have to pick stocks for you. So what they do, they're trying to beat the market. In reality, because you're paying a human office or you're paying all these professionals, you have to create a human salary. Most of the time, they charge you an expense ratio, usually between 1% to 1.5, and that is a very high expense ratio if you're gonna invest in the long term. In 30 years time, you're gonna give them a lot of money, so that's a huge salary for you to just create. Our 401ks, sometimes they're invested in this, so you have to go check a very high fee, and it's eating on your retirement. For mutual funds, they're usually only bought or sold at the end of the business day, and an example for this is Fidelity Contra Fund. What is an index fund? An index fund is a type of mutual fund with a portfolio that is made to track all the components of the financial market index, just like the S&P 500. This type of fund doesn't have to beat the market. It just mirrors the market. So there's no human picking stocks here. It's just a computer or just a robot that simply buys the 500 biggest companies in the United States, and if a company is doing well, it stays. If a company is falling, the robot kicks it out. Because a robot does all the work, the fee is almost nothing. Most of the time, it's always 0.03% to 0.05%. And in this, we use the basket approach. You are not guessing which fruit you're gonna buy. We are going to buy the whole basket. So this is what this is. So one advantage of this is the fee is very low, and we don't have to use those expensive managers right here. And you just pay nothing. It's just a computer tracking the 500 US companies that are doing well. Historically, this has always performed better than the expensive managers, the mutual funds, over like 20 years. Examples for this is Vanguard 500 index fund or a Fidelity S&P 500. So the index funds are way better than the mutual funds. I would also recommend you to use index funds if you're well conversant with investment. This is a good way to just start. Let's discuss about ETF. ETFs are a modern way of investing. ETF stands for Exchange Traded Fund, and this is always a basket of securities that you buy or sell through your brokerage firm on a stock exchange. Let me show you this such that you don't run away. Think of an ETF as a better index fund that tracks the same 500 company in the United States, but you can buy it using your phone app, and you can just buy it as a single stock. The reality about this is index funds, they often require you to have like 3,000 to just start. But now for this ETF, there is no minimum. You can just buy a slice of the basket, be it $5, be it $10, whatever amount you have. Just note, this is the best tool for beginners. It's safe, it's cheap, and it's so fast, and I would advise you to just grab it and run away with it, because an index fund that acts like a stock, that is so good. The advantage of having an ETF, you can buy and sell them instantly during the day using your phone app, be it Fidelity or Schwab. The best part of it is there is no minimum to just start. You can just buy one share or even fraction shares for maybe $5. An example for this is Vanguard S&P 500 or a total stock market. Let's do a comparison table, and on this table we're gonna have 3 columns: a mutual fund, index fund, and an ETF, and we're gonna determine which is good. So who picks definitely for you a mutual fund? It's a human being because it's an active management that does that for you. An index fund is always picked by a computer, and an ETF is also picked by a computer. That means the management for a mutual fund is very active, and for an index fund and ETF, they are both passive. For the yearly fee, a mutual fund is very high. It can go as high as 1%. Low index funds are always low. They can go to 0.03, and also an ETF, they are very low. That is 0.03%. Let's go to the minimum. A mutual fund is very high, definitely. It can go as high as 1K. An index fund is medium level, that is 3K apart from some of them. And an ETF, literally, you can start with $1. Let's understand how it trades. Mutual funds trade once a day, most of the time at the end of the day. Index funds trade once a day, and ETF, they are always instant, and most of the time they're during the day. Mutual funds are best if it's a 401k put in there. An index fund is always good if you're doing this for the long term, and ETFs, they're good for beginners. You and me should just be there, and we're gonna invest in the long term so we can keep choosing index funds and ETFs. The vibe for it all, remember the story that we had during our conversation? This is like a private shopper if you're gonna choose a mutual fund, and if you're gonna do an index fund, that is like an autopilot because it's a computer doing for you the thing. You can automate this, and it's so good. ETFs, they're just things like Apple, Tesla. You can just pick like the whole basket of one index fund. So just make your decision depending on that comparison table. It brings you closer to understanding that an ETF is better than an index fund, and an index fund is better than a mutual fund. So ETF, index fund, mutual fund. So for any beginner, just know an ETF is always the winner, and followed by an index fund and then a mutual fund, because they are cheaper and they are easy to buy using your app, and you don't need thousands of dollars to just start with an ETF. So go look for a low cost SP500 ETF. That should be your first purchase. So this is the take home message for you. Go do your homework and do one thing today. If you have your 401k, just open it and check your expense ratio. If you have above 0.50, you're probably overpaying it and you need to check on it. If you don't have one, you can download from Fidelity, Vanguard, or Schwab. Search for the ticker symbol VOO and look at the prices. Now that you know, you are ahead of most people. Just remember, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just someone who figured it out the hard way, and I want to make it simple for you. Don't let those big words scare you. It's just a fruit of basket. Open the app, pick your basket, and start small. Just be consistent, and that is the whole secret. If this helped you, don't forget to hit that subscribe button, like, share, and share it with a friend. Okay, I'll see you in the next one.